often textbooks, instead of calling them as causes or etiology, they also mention them under the heading of risk factors. So etiology or risk factors essentially mean same, because not all patients with these conditions go on to develop chronic pancreatitis. Okay, and to enlist the risk factors for the chronic pancreatitis, we generally follow what is known as TIGAR-O classification. TIGAR-O classification. Okay, but before going to TIGAR-O classification, one or two important MCQ points. Number one MCQ point is, what is the most common cause for chronic pancreatitis? The most common cause for chronic pancreatitis is alcohol, right? So alcohol is the second most common cause for acute pancreatitis. What is the first most common cause for acute pancreatitis? It is the gallstone disease. So when it comes to acute, gallstone disease is the first most common cause, and when it comes to the chronic, it is the alcohol which is the first most common cause. Okay, there can also be a question asking you what is the most common cause for recurrent acute pancreatitis, where I would suggest two important causes to remember. One is occult gallstone disease, which generally gets missed when ultrasound is the only investigation employed for imaging the gallbladder and the biliary tree. And the second one is autoimmune pancreatitis. Those are important causes for recurrent acute pancreatitis. Okay, now let us look at the TIGAR-O classification. So in the TIGAR-O, T stands for toxic and metabolic causes. So in the TIGAR-O, T stands for toxic and metabolic causes, and overall, obviously these are going to be the most common causes, because alcohol is a toxin and it will be listed here, right? So alcohol is the most common cause for chronic pancreatitis. Apart from that, consumption of tobacco in any form, right, starting from gutka to the supari, pan to smoking, consumption of tobacco in any form is a risk factor and it can cause chronic pancreatitis. Okay, then hypercalcemia of whatever etiology. So it can be milk alkali syndrome or secondary to hyperparathyroidism. Any cause for hypercalcemia facilitates calcification of the pancreatic tissue and the pancreatic duct, distortion leading to chronic pancreatitis. So that is also an important cause, hypercalcemia. Okay, then fourth among the toxin metabolic causes are hypertriglyceridemia. Okay, there's one important MCQ point to remember about hypertriglyceridemia, right? So the triglyceride levels more than 1000 milligrams per deciliter exponentially increase the risk of developing acute pancreatitis, and right, persistently elevated values even lower than that can be a risk factor for chronic pancreatitis. So hypertriglyceridemia as such is a risk factor for chronic pancreatitis. When it is more than 1000, there is an exponentially high risk of acute pancreatitis, and it can be acute on chronic in patients otherwise already having chronic pancreatitis. Okay, then chronic renal failure or the uremia is also an important cause for chronic pancreatitis. Okay, now talking about I in the TIGAR-O classification, it stands for idiopathic. Now Harrison mentions that in the US, 25% of the patients who are diagnosed with the chronic pancreatitis remain idiopathic, but he also mentions that at least a sizable number of those patients will eventually get diagnosed as hereditary pancreatitis. Okay, so idiopathic can be further classified as early onset, late onset, or we have one form called as tropical pancreatitis. So when it comes to tropical pancreatitis, it is more common in obviously countries which are on the tropics, right? Tropical pancreatitis, which is also often called as chronic fibrocalculous pancreatitis, because this condition is characteristically associated with extensive calcification of the pancreas and multiple stones in the pancreatic duct system. Okay, and this condition is associated with increased risk of diabetes mellitus. Well, obviously chronic pancreatitis is associated with increased risk of diabetes mellitus, but in comparison to the other causes for chronic pancreatitis, like say alcohol or gallstone disease, the incidence of diabetes is significantly higher in these patients. Increased diabetes mellitus risk in these patients. There are various hypotheses behind the causes for the chronic fibrocalculous pancreatitis or tropical pancreatitis, but one thing that is commonly cited in the textbooks is consumption of cassava, or what is called as tapioca. So when it comes to India, the states where tapioca consumption is high, like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and some parts of Karnataka, that is where the incidence of this chronic fibrocalculus or tropical pancreatitis is high. Okay. Now coming to the genetic causes. So the G in TIGARO stands for genetic causes. When it comes to genetic causes, I want you to remember 3 important mutations, but the single most important mutation I want you to remember is PRSS1 mutation, which is the most common mutation responsible for genetic pancreatitis. Okay, now when we're talking about genetic pancreatitis, especially this PRSS1 mutation, we should remember that the chronic pancreatitis that we see in these patients, the onset is usually from the childhood. So by around the 10-11 years of age, the child starts presenting with abdominal fullness and abdominal pain. Okay, by the time he reaches adulthood, he would develop the exocrine insufficiency features. So pain is the most common or the starting complaint, which becomes evident in childhood. 10-11 years is the median age of presentation with pain. Often patients are not diagnosed at this stage, but by the time they cross the second decade and they are into third decade, there will be evidence of the exocrine insufficiency. So steatorrhea, diarrhea, and other symptoms become evident. Okay, now this PRSS1 mutation is associated with increased risk of the pancreatic malignancy. Pancreatic malignancy becomes usually evident in 5th or 6th decade, and by 3rd or 4th decade, patient might also develop diabetes mellitus. So those are common manifestations that we would see in patients with chronic pancreatitis due to PRSS1 mutation. Okay, apart from that, the cystic fibrosis gene mutation or CFTR gene mutation that can also cause chronic pancreatitis, which you're already aware of. The point to note here is that not all patients of chronic pancreatitis who harbor a CFTR mutation harbor the CFTR mutations which are responsible for cystic fibrosis. There are other mutations in the same gene which can also cause chronic pancreatitis without causing cystic fibrosis. Okay, the third gene we need to remember is SPINK1, and particularly I want you to remember that when there is a SPINK1 and CFTR mutation, there is more than 900-fold increase in the risk of chronic pancreatitis. So risk of developing chronic pancreatitis increases by more than 900-fold if patient harbors both SPINK1 as well as CFTR mutations. Okay, so this is about the genetic forms or genetic risk factors for chronic pancreatitis. Now after the genetic, let us also talk about autoimmune, because autoimmune is representing A here. Okay, now when we talk about autoimmune, we already know that there are 2 types of autoimmune pancreatitis type 1, which is most common and which is part and parcel of IgG4 related diseases, right? The most common organ affected in IgG4 related diseases is type 1 is pancreas, and thus it is the type 1 autoimmune pancreatitis which is more common, which accounts for anywhere between 80 to 90% of the patients of autoimmune pancreatitis. Then there is type 2 autoimmune pancreatitis, which is also called as idiopathic duct-centric pancreatitis, which is generally not associated with the other organ involvement. In case of IgG4 related disease, there is involvement of other organs. In case of the idiopathic duct-centric pancreatitis, it is usually isolated pancreatitis. Both those cases respond well to steroids. Okay, so that is about autoimmune pancreatitis. Okay, now then we spoke about recurrent pancreatitis. So R here stands for recurrent pancreatitis, so which can be post-necrotic. So if there was an episode of acute pancreatitis and there was significant necrosis, after that pancreatitis can recur. Then there is a separate entity called as recurrent acute pancreatitis. Right now I'm not getting into the detailed discussion of it because I've done a tiny small video discussing the recurrent acute pancreatitis, and you can go through that. And then pancreatic ischemia or vascular injury to the blood supply to the pancreas can also cause recurrent pancreatitis. So these are all causes coming under R for the TIGARO classification. Now the last O stands for obstructive causes. So if there is an obstruction to the pancreatic duct, that will cause increase in the pressure inside the pancreatic duct, leakage of the pancreatic enzymes into the pancreatic tissue and causing destruction and triggering the inflammation, right? So what can cause the obstruction? Tumors, right? Mainly the pancreatic head tumors can cause the compression of the pancreatic duct. Okay, apart from that, structural abnormalities like pancreatic divisum and also your annular pancreas, these all can cause obstruction of the pancreatic duct, and patient can have chronic pancreatitis because of that, right? So in summary, we remember the causes or risk factors for chronic pancreatitis with a mnemonic TIGAR-O. Important take-home MCQ points are: overall, the most common cause for chronic pancreatitis is alcohol, right? If you are talking about in terms of TIGAR-O, it is the toxic and metabolic causes are the most common causes for chronic pancreatitis. Okay, now I forgot to tell you one important point. If there is a MCQ asking you what is the most common cause for chronic pancreatitis in children, obviously see, alcohol, at least our generation, we don't expect children to be alcoholic and develop chronic pancreatitis, right? It is rare. Then tobacco exposure also we are not considering strongly. Gallstone disease, well, occult gallstone disease is an important cause, but again, childhood is not the age group for the occult gallstone disease either. So then what is the most common cause for chronic pancreatitis in children? Most common cause for chronic pancreatitis in children is CFTR mutation. CFTR mutation. Okay, now this is dependent on the fact that the patients with PRSS1 mutation are generally not diagnosed in the childhood. They get diagnosed in the adulthood when exocrine insufficiency becomes evident, right? Otherwise, if you're diagnosing someone with chronic pancreatitis because they presented with exocrine insufficiency and other classical symptoms, then mostly it is the CFTR mutation, or patient may be having frank cystic fibrosis. Okay, so this is about the causes for or the risk factors for chronic pancreatitis.